Welcome to Straight Talk on Retirement, your no-hype source for financial advice and making informed choices about your retirement planning. Get on the phone to talk today at 969-KTRS, 888-550-KTRS, or star KTRS from your cell phone.
The opinions voiced in this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Private Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. Private Advisor Group and JBL Financial Services, Inc. are separate entities from LPL Financial Group.
Now, here are your retirement coaches, Jeff and Aaron Lapidus.
Well, hello, St. Louis, and welcome to Straight Talk on Retirement. You're live and local, St. Louis's favorite financial call-in show. I'm Jeff Lapidus, president of JBL Financial Services. Our office are located in beautiful, sunny, really nice temperature out there, downtown Clayton, Missouri. I am a 35-plus year veteran of the financial services area, a fee-based financial planner and investment advisor. And we help our folks make smart choices about their money. And the way we do that is by including my daughter, my favorite older prodigal daughter.
Just sitting over here, relaxing.
Ready for action.
Enjoying the day.
Enjoying the day. We had a fun drive over, though.
Yes, we did. Not a single red light.
We even talked. That was kind of nice.
Well, you were in a better mood, so.
There you go. Erin is also a fee-based financial planner and investment advisor, but we also call her the health insurance coach. And we do help our clients make smart choices about their money, Erin, don't we?
We do. The way we do that is by designing a game plan, a written step-by-step strategy, a real game plan that has several goals in mind.
First is to preserve, protect, and prudently grow the assets our clients have taken their entire lifetimes to accumulate. Second is to deliver a reliable stream of income, one that they can count on so they can do all the things that they'd like to do during retirement.
And third is cost-effectively addressing their health care needs, like helping individuals enroll in Medicare and choosing the right plan to supplement their medical coverage.
And then when they're done enjoying their assets during their lifetime, we show them how to pass it on to the people they love, whether it's their spouses or children, grandchildren, churches, or charities, whoever it might be, without Uncle Sam or the tax courts taking a big bite out of their money. And as their financial planners and investment advisors, we watch their money every single day to make sure that they're staying on track, and that's why they call us the retirement coaches. Ready for action?
Always.
Favorite day of the week?
Favorite day.
It is favorite day. Love that opportunity to get on, share some ideas, thoughts, concepts with all of our listeners, and more importantly, answer their questions. We know you have a lot of things on your mind, so do we. Well, let's hear from you. Our phone lines are always open, 969-KTRS, star KTRS from your cell phones, or 1-888-550-KTRS. And naturally, we're going to talk a lot this week, as we do every week, about healthcare.
That's right, because Sunday, October 15th, it's the day of days, right? When open enrollment begins.
The day. This is a day of days. That was right.
It's from World War I, I think.
No.
Yes.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, I think
that was from the Vin Diesel movie. That was, yeah, it was.
I think so.
Yeah, it was. This is a day of days.
I think they were ripping off. Hold on, we're gonna have to go
what
straight to
was
Google
that last? What was that last movie that he did on that series? You don't talk.
Fast and the Furious?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the Interplanetary series. You don't talk.
No.
Anyways, all of our clients are folks like you, those between the ages of 55 and 75, those that would like to retire or they're already retired. As Aaron said, we do help create a game plan for them so they can enjoy, we hope, for them a healthy, wealthy, and wise, and very enjoyable retirement.
So actually, it was from Band of Brothers, is the Day of Days quote. So it was a World War II reference, I guess.
Okay, so
Sorry.
It was also in another movie that I remember. It'll come to me sometime halfway through the show.
Okay, good.
But that's kind of cool.
The fans that are waiting, the listeners, they want to know.
Very good. And again, thanks so much, everybody, for listening this morning, whether you're in your car. You still could be out in the garage doing your thing. maybe you're on the internet streaming us today, which you can do. And as a reminder, if you would like to connect with Aaron or I during the week, easy to do. A couple of different ways, right?
That's right. You can log on to our website, jblfinancial.com.
Woohoo!
That's right. And we have a very lovely monthly newsletter that we send out every single month, since it's monthly. It's called the Coach's Corner.
Thanks.
I'm not going to add anything. You just had a face like you were going to say something.
I didn't have to. I mean,
I just kept going. And
that was just such low-hanging fruit I had to pass on that one here. So. But we do send it out to everyone by email every single month. But there are a couple of other ways that you can keep in touch with us, Aaron, right?
That's right. You can log on to our Facebook or Twitter accounts, JBL Financial. Keep up to date with the posts that we post every single week, or thoughts and comments that we have on our Twitter.
What's our Twitter account?
JBL Financial.
Cool. I like that idea.
Same as the Facebook.
But you can also keep in touch with us during the week if you like by giving us a call. Our offices are always open. For phone calls anyways, 314-863-0008, especially if you're thinking to yourself, it's time. I'm within 5 years of retirement. I see sometimes, actually, the last couple of folks we've seen have been within like 30 days of retirement. You held off, but it's cool. We can fix you up. It's time for us to get a game plan. Give us a call, Aaron, and I would love to visit with you. You can do that by giving us a call, 314-863-0008. Or if you like, send me an email, jeff@jblfinancial.com.
Or aaron@jblfinancial.com.
Or, because we know you've been perusing our website through the many videos as well as calculators and the fun articles we have, you can do the contact us, right?
That's right. If you click on that, then it just comes right to me.
You can give us a narrative, right? And Aaron doesn't share either. Why don't you share?
Well, the people... I've just
you
given
ever hear
the people,
of caring and sharing?
I'm just giving the people what they want. They want to set up a coaching session, I send them the Gail. They want a question answered, I just answer it right there. Just leave you to do your work.
You do the Twitter stuff, too. It's like I'm this little old man sitting in a corner office or something. You kind of bring me out to do whatever. But
and I just do everything.
You do everything, honey. I'm sure there's a song about that, but I'm not going to regale you with that this morning, okay? But I know when we talk about everything, for many folks, when it's time to transition from their company health insurance plan to Medicare, it is the whole world. It's one of the most difficult, confusing decisions because you're going from a different world of healthcare. The plans are different.
They work very differently, but also really what is so different is that most people spent their entire working life having their employer choose their plan for them or give them a list, if they were lucky, give them a list of a couple of options they could choose from, and that's the plan that they had. Now you have the opportunity to choose whatever you like.
And again, so I guess what we're going to be doing probably for the next 30 days or so,
at least, is
concentrating our efforts and discussions when it comes to healthcare, which of course is sponsored by our very good friends, Coventry Healthcare of Missouri,
and Aetna Company.
For our smart choices about your healthcare segment, we're going to concentrate on Medicare because, as you know, even though the new individual policies have to come out, we don't even know anything about them until
probably 24 hours before everyone else knows about them.
Like around November 15th.
November 1st is when open enrollment begins for individual health insurance. And, I mean, we probably can't go this show without discussing what happened yesterday with the Trump administration's executive order, especially because Bill has already called in and wanted to know our thoughts on President Trump's health care executive order.
I love the president. I do. I mean, what's so cool is that he is the proverbial bull in the china closet.
China shop.
Right. We know that the healthcare system that we have today. Let's put the people that are Medicare eligible and in Medicare is cool.
But they're really off to the side. The Affordable Care Act did not make a lot of physical changes to Medicare. There were some Part D regulation changes, and we can talk about those. But if the Affordable Health Care Act is repealed, individuals on Medicare are not going to see sizable changes to their policies.
No, but we know that the Congress
won't do anything.
Right. I mean, for them, status quo is where it is, and the president said, you know what? No. People are suffering. rates are rising.
And also
people hate their health care. They hate the plans. They hate being pigeonholed into these
very narrow networks.
4 different color bands: gold, bronze, silver. etc.
Yeah.
The subsidies are confusing. People are playing games with them, just as we do with our millionaire clients.
And
so they
the
can
networks,
get subsidies.
the networks are very narrow, so people are having to make difficult decisions because
the whole thing. It's a mess, and so
it's been a mess, yes.
We actually have a action president who's actually tipping over the cart, and we're going to see some action. So that's cool. In terms of the small group health markets, we do have about 40 to 50 clients here in the city, small companies we work with. We're kind of in a holding pattern, I think. I mean, there's been a discussion about association plans being
formed across state lines, which would be fantastic. It really would be excellent for small groups to have this opportunity because over the last 5 years, we have seen for the majority of our small businesses, rates increase at just as rapid a rate as the individual health insurance plan. So we're looking at 15 to 25% increases year over year just to maintain their same policies, and that can truly be crippling to small businesses as an expense to try and maintain employees because it really has become a standard for most businesses in this country to afford their employees with some sort of health insurance benefit. So in order to keep good employees, you want to have robust benefits. And what the Trump administration has done is basically say that now small groups can band together. So, for example, architectural firms.
We have several of them here.
Exactly. And they can come together, not just and for the sole purpose of health insurance, which has been excluded in other cases, come together to form larger groups, giving them more bargaining power with the insurance companies to reduce their rates. So instead of having your one architectural firm of 100 employees, you can band together with people across the country to form 100,000 group as opposed to just 100 people group.
Realistically, I think this is all probably maybe 2 years away, maybe 24 months away. If anything happens where we're going to see the formation of these plans, nothing's going to happen significantly next week. We're going to have court challenges, which, the haters have to do, and that's fine.
And they did mention, potentially getting rid of the subsidy immediately.
Yeah,
that decision has come, 15 days before open enrollment begins for individual policies. So, like you said, there's still going to be a lot of debating to be had over what's going to happen with the subsidies for 2018.
I mean, at the end of the day, and you can't blame people. It's called "Don't touch mine."
Once you give someone a benefit, it's very hard to take it back.
And there'll be solutions that are made. That's what's nice is that business people come to solutions. I mean, that's what this man is, and I'm looking very forward to seeing what solutions.
Some changes. Well, it's nice to see.
And actually seeing the Congress maybe get together, being forced to get together and basically do something.
Well, regardless of what party you're from, Republicans did win their seats on making changes to the Affordable Care Act. So for all of those individuals who voted for Republicans, I can imagine that they're very disappointed in the fact that they sent their representatives to Congress to make those decisions and they didn't. So now the president has, and we'll just have to roll with those punches. Yeah,
I mean, and I've said it many times in private before that hopefully we'll have some Republicans show up because we haven't seen them up till now.
That's fair.
As far as I'm concerned. But let's get back to the real thing here, which is
the fun part.
Yeah, which is Aaron. I did have Susan happen to sneak in a question to me. It kind of came under the email.
Oh, she must have not known how to spell my name.
Exactly. And Susan says, Aaron, ask Aaron if you would. Right. What are the criteria you use to recommend a plan to supplement Medicare coverage? What do you use?
My criteria?
Yeah, when you're helping folks choose that plan.
So the first thing that I want to do is look at your current list of physicians who you're seeing, who you'd like to be able to have access to see, because the Medicare Advantage plans work off of a network. So I want to check those networks to make sure that you have access. And then secondarily, I want to take a look at your maintenance prescriptions to see what you're taking. Different plans cover prescriptions differently. So we want to find, one, a plan where all of your physicians fit, and secondly, where do your prescriptions fit the best.
Now, Aaron, that's kind of in the Medicare Advantage portal or
Correct.
loop. But then there's also the other side, right?
Yes. which would be the supplemental side. We don't have to worry about a network of physicians because supplemental policies don't use networks. You have access to every physician that accepts Medicare, so you don't have to worry about that. But then we still want to look at your prescriptions because we'll couple a supplemental policy with a prescription drug plan that suits your needs the best.
So I was going to say, from a mechanical point of view here, once you receive the information on who folks' physicians are, you check the networks.
We check the networks.
And that's easy to do. But also, what do you do specifically with a prescription?
We run them through a computer program that will allow me to see which policies cover your prescriptions, what the monthly cost of those prescriptions will be, and what the premium is associated with those policies.
And what's cool then is that you're really able to come down to a true cost, not just from a premium point of view,
but from
also
an out-of-pocket expense point of view.
And that's so important, isn't it?
Yes, because you really be able to. One of the number one concerns for individuals going into retirement is the cost of health insurance, and what we're able to do is pinpoint really almost to the dollar every month what you are going to pay when you walk into CVS, Walgreens, Walmart to fill your prescriptions. So you're able to add that back into your monthly expense, and that can make that gives you a lot more confidence in knowing what you're going to be spending every month, and it takes that question mark out of how much do I have to budget for health insurance, because we see many people coming in looking to retire and they've already put together what they feel their expenses will be, and they're targeting their monthly expense at over $1,000 a month for health insurance. And if you're on Medicare, that's
heaven.
That is, you've built in a lot of padding into that number, which can make you feel really comfortable knowing you're going to spend half, maybe less than that, in many cases. So that's the first piece of it. But then the second set of criteria that I use when we're determining what is the best way to supplement your Medicare coverage is when we actually sit down and talk and discuss your usage on a monthly and annual basis with health insurance, because we've had this conversation several times, which is it's not the difference many people think if you're healthy you want to choose a Medicare Advantage plan because those plans you only pay as you go versus a supplement where you pay everything, your premium up front. So if you're not well, you want to pay your premium up front and offload all of that risk. But the reality is there are many people that are not what you would consider well, but aren't using health insurance, because as you get older and you have more chronic issues, that doesn't necessarily mean more trips to the doctor. That just means things aren't what they were when you were 40. So
let's give me a numerical example here if we can, because I think that's kind of important.
All right.
So let's just say that someone is they're 65, they're in Missouri, because we know Illinois is cheaper, which is cool.
Very cool.
Okay, and let's just say that they're looking at a traditional supplement plan.
Okay.
Let's assume Plan F, just because that's the one that everyone says is the most F for fun.
Yes.
Right? This is the one where you pay a premium and you don't pay anything when you see the doctor.
Exactly. So you pay a monthly premium, no copays to the doctor, no coinsurance if you're admitted to the hospital. You never receive a bill except if you're filling prescriptions.
And then you have to add, though, a premium for the Part D, which is the prescription coverage, because as we know, Medicare doesn't fully cover prescriptions.
Exactly.
So between the two of those on average might run.
So between the two, I would say we're looking at about $200 a month.
Okay. So $200 a month, $2,400 per year.
Right.
That's basically your maximum out of pocket, i.e. your premium.
Yes.
Obviously, you have drug copays and the donut hole and all that kind of stuff to deal with on the drug side. But let's compare that and contrast that with Medicare Advantage. Okay.
So individual A65 in Missouri bought the supplemental policy. They're going to pay $2,400 a year in premium, no out-of-pocket expenses except for prescriptions. If we take a look at the Medicare Advantage side of things, Medicare Advantage will offer you a policy that has no premium on the front end, so that means you pay nothing every month.
Oh, yeah.
Because instead of paying premium, you pay out-of-pocket expenses.
As you go.
Exactly. Right? As you go. So when you visit the primary, it's between $5 and $10, depending upon which plan you choose. If you see specialists, it's between $39 and $45, depending upon which policy you choose. And then you have a maximum out of pocket, and what that means is that's the most you can spend in 1 year. that you have a zero deductible policy. So that means from day one, let's say you enrolled in this policy for January 1st and you needed outpatient surgery, there's a $250 copay for outpatient surgery.
But that goes to your out-of-pocket.
It goes to your out-of-pocket. That happens day 1 or day 364. You have the same coverage throughout the year. When you hit your maximum out-of-pocket, which is around $3,000, depending upon which plan, you are done paying for the rest of the year, except for when you fill prescriptions.
So it's the same thing on the outside on prescriptions, right?
Exactly, because when the Bush administration in 2006 added prescription drug coverage, they didn't integrate it into Medicare. They added it on top. So it truly sits outside of the rest of your medical coverage, unlike what you have now, where you're bundled your prescription and medical together, either with an individual policy or with group health insurance. So if we compare the Medicare Advantage plan, which has a maximum of about $3,000 out of pocket, versus paying a monthly premium, which annualizes to about $2,400 a year, in the first year, you can see that there's about a $600 liability, right?
Worst case which you may not have.
Exactly. Worst case scenario, you hit your maximum out of pocket. You would have done better under the supplemental plan because it was only a $2,400 liability versus the $3,000 that you paid. However, not every year are you going to have the worst year.
And also the premiums go up every year in the supplements.
Supplemental plans, their premiums increase about 1 to 5% a year generally. Medicare Advantage, the policies have remained relatively stable. In fact, we've seen the benefits improving over the last several years, as opposed to increasing for the member. So, if we look at your health over the next 30 years, not every year is the worst, not every year is the best. But as long as you're not spending even that initial $2,400 that when you aged into Medicare you would have spent, you're going to come out ahead. So if you see the primary 2 times and a couple of specialists, you're going to spend under $100 for the year. That's less than 1 month's premium. If we do that more than 1 year in a row, you're going to have more than enough money essentially set aside or saved because you didn't pay it out to the insurance company to help out when you do hit that maximum out of pocket in the worst case scenario. So it really depends upon your usage. If you're going to spend $3,000 every year because you have you have rehab all the time, or you have chronic conditions that require constant care, or you are undergoing treatment, then maybe it does make sense to look at a supplement to start.
Or if your docs aren't in the book.
Or if your physicians are not participating in the networks. However, on the network side with Medicare, we find the networks are incredibly large because they're legally required to be. These policies cannot create narrow networks of what you find on the individual health insurance side. So you're not going to have an issue with only being able to go to one hospital. Also, you have the opportunity, maybe your prescriptions don't fit well into one of these Medicare Advantage plan prescriptions.
Right. We've seen that with some clients before.
Exactly, and since we know that's a fixed cost, if we can keep it as low as possible, it makes sense to potentially look at a supplement and pair it with a prescription drug plan that fits the best. So those are the 2 main reasons why we would lean towards a supplement over a Medicare Advantage plan. But in a lot of cases, especially for individuals aging into Medicare now, Medicare Advantage is what you're used to. It's like a managed care policy. You have physicians that you see. You know they're in the network. You know what you pay when you're going to go visit them, what you pay when you have procedures and things like that done, and you know what the maximum is for you to pay on an annual basis. So this is what you're comfortable with, but we can make it even better because we can cut your premium out.
That's right, and we know that every client that comes in or potential client comes in, it's a clean slate.
That's right, especially during open enrollment between October 15th and December 7th. This truly applies to Medicare Advantage plans and prescription drug plans. So if you have a Medicare Advantage plan and you want to see if there are better options out there, you can do that. If you have a supplemental policy and you want to find out what Medicare Advantage is like, you can do that because you have guarantee issue into these policies during open enrollment for a January 1st effective date.
That's very cool. I think what we're going to do is let everybody know that I'm surprised those lines aren't going up like crazy right now, but they're open. 969 KTRS. Star KTRS on your cell phones or 1-888-550 KTRS. Aaron, since your basket was full here, let's go on to a couple other questions. A on Medicare specifically. And Julie asked, what benefits are offered by a Medicare Advantage plan that are not covered by a traditional Medicare supplement plan?
So Medicare Advantage has thrown in some extra goodies, you could say, that the supplemental policies don't have. Dental, not coverage, but a benefit, which is generally up to $250 a year for preventative dental. So that's cleanings, exams, x-rays. Coventry offers $250 as an indemnity. United Healthcare will do 2 cleanings, 2 exams, 1 x-ray from a network physician.
Gotcha.
So, and Essence also offers the exams, cleanings, and x-rays. Also, 1 annual eye exam covered at no extra charge to you. $100 towards a pair of glasses every 2 years. And Coventry this year is offering a very nice benefit for individuals that use hearing assistance or hearing aids. $500 per year for hearing aids. And
Grandma's not happy.
Medicare does not. She's going to be not happy you said that. And Medicare does not cover any hearing aids. So this is essentially $1,000 that Coventry is offering to assist with the purchase of hearing aids.
Okay, there's a couple other things, right? Like gym membership.
Oh, that's true. I was just so excited about that $1,000. So there's
I know,
gym.
Because that's new, right?
That is brand new. There's a gym membership, so Silver Sneakers. You can join as many gyms, actually, as you'd like with Silver Sneakers as long as they participate. So that's YMCA, Curves. A lot of the local neighborhood gyms also participate in that. I think 24-hour fitness as well. So you show them your card. They give you an annual gym membership. And like I said, you can join as many as you like.
The other thing, I think, if I'm correct, and I'm probably not on this one, but what about routine annual exams?
So Medicare covers routine annual exams and all preventative care at no extra charge to you. Under Medicare Advantage, it really is no extra charge because you're not paying a monthly premium. So that annual visit to the physician, you don't even pay a copay, and you didn't pay a premium. So that's no money out of your pocket.
Super freebie.
Exactly. And also all your annual blood work, if you're up for certain testing, that's covered as well. But if you take a supplemental policy and you have your annual exam at no extra charge to you, well, you paid the premium. You paid your $150 to $200 a month premium, and then you went in and got to see the physician for no extra charge.
Well,
nice.
And you know what? We're going to take Ann's call because she's been holding at no extra charge. Ann, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. I'm 75, and so is my husband. I have supplemental plan if he has Medicare Advantage. They're both with United Healthcare. But my question is, well, I probably should do Advantage, but I don't because I'm afraid I wouldn't put the money away, and that's why I do the supplemental.
Sure.
And he agrees with me. But
well, he knows you. That's why.
That's true. But here's my question. We both have the same Part D prescription coverage. I didn't know there were options. Are there options if you're on a supplemental plan?
Yes, there are. You have actually, I think there's 74 policies available in Missouri this year and Illinois for you. So that's actually an excellent question because another individual wrote in the same thing, which is if you have a supplemental policy, do you have to select the same company for your prescription drug plan? And in your case, you absolutely do not have to. So you can look at Aetna is available. Express Scripts has a brand new policy available as well. Coventry has options. Humana. So you have quite a few choices available to you. You do not have to stick with United just because that's who you purchase your supplement through.
Okay, here's the problem we have, though. When we originally signed up for Medicare, we did not sign up for Part D because we had next to no prescription.
Sure.
That we needed, and then when we signed up 4 years later, we have to pay a late fee penalty, and mine now is $99 going up to about $107 in January.
So unfortunately, that penalty is going to follow you regardless of which prescription drug plan you choose, but it's not going to, just because you switch off of the prescription drug plan you selected, it's not going to change what the penalty is going to be because the penalty is based on, it's 1% per month for every month you didn't sign up for it.
Okay.
And the 1% is based off of an average prescription drug plan in the area. So that's where they're calculating that number from.
Aaron, let me ask you a question. If Ann was to move over to let's say United Healthcare's Medicare Complete, which is the...
She would still have the penalty assessed.
Okay, that's a bummer.
But it's not nearly as high because my husband's is like $20-some.
Well, because your penalty is also you're combining your penalty and the actual premium for the prescription drug plan, and his policy is 0 premium for the prescription drug plan, so you're seeing just the pure penalty, so that's why yours looks higher.
Yeah,
yours should be about the same.
My premium is $190. It's about $200 starting in January.
Yes.
It's $190 something now, and then the Part D is on top of that.
Right.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
We understand. We appreciate your call. And I was going to say, it's interesting for Ann, and I don't know if she's listening or still might consider doing this, but, she's paying basically, as she said, about a $75 a month penalty.
She's probably paying $22, just like her husband, $75 for the prescription.
I'm sorry,
plan.
I had the other way. So in other words, she's paying about $250 a year, or a little bit more, as basically as that penalty.
Right.
She might really want to consider, especially if her physicians aren't there, is really to look at going to the same pipeline or even Coventry because they're cheaper.
Exactly. So maybe Ann's husband could just snatch the $200 a month out of her bank account and hold it to the side for her, because Ann makes a good point. Some people don't feel as though they would have the discipline to truly set that money aside, so then when the big ticket item does come up, or the year that they do have to pay out, it stings a little bit more than someone that's built up a nice reserve of cash.
We could help Ann.
Well, you absolutely just fill a bucket.
Right. Have a direct deposit go into a separate account that she can watch grow, and then rate it as she needs to.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
That's terrific. Well, good. Looks like Larry has a Medicare question. Larry, good morning. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for holding.
Ma'am, thank you for the service.
You're welcome.
I have a question primarily for Aaron.
Of course.
My mom's 88 years old in a nursing home, and she's on the UAW Trust with Blue Cross Blue Shield as the supplemental. This year they're offering 2 other programs, the Aetna Medicare Advantage and the Blue Cross Medicare Advantage. Both of them seem actually pretty good to my brother and I. Is there anything particular we should be looking at? She can stay on the Blue Cross supplemental, which has been excellent for her. We haven't had any problems with that either. So just thought I'd call in to see if there's any knowledge you can share with me.
Sure. So the first thing that I would consider, just like we discussed earlier, was make sure that her physicians are all in the network.
They are.
Okay. And have you done a comparison as to how much her prescriptions will cost under either of these new policies versus the policy she's currently on?
No, not specifically. We've looked into one of the medicines. She's not on that much medicine.
Okay.
But all we could do is call, right? We want to have access to
go to Walgreens.
Well, they'll probably have to call because these are group coverage.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yep. So I would.
Does it matter, Aaron? Does it matter? I want to say, out of the 2 programs I mentioned, one of them is only in 5 states. The other one is a number of states. Does that really matter?
No, it doesn't, because you're looking at Aetna, which is a national company, and you're also looking at Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is also Anthem in Missouri. So you're looking at 2 national carriers that are top-rated. Aetna is the leading performer in Missouri for Medicare Advantage plans, and so I wouldn't have any concern. Aetna is Coventry in St. Louis on the Missouri side, so you shouldn't have any fear in terms of making the transition that the coverage won't go anywhere. I would just say, like you've done already, is to make sure she has access to all the physicians she wants, and then also that you're not making too much of a change to the price of her prescriptions. You said she's not on many, so that might not be a huge factor, but you just want to make sure.
And I think the Coventry copays are lower, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, and also
But Coventry and Aetna are the same, in other words.
Yes, Aetna owns Coventry. Aetna's network is slightly or significantly larger than what Blue Cross's is, so that might be something to consider as well.
Great call, great question, and we certainly do appreciate that. Aaron, let's let you take a breath, and we'll take our first break of the hour. When we come back, we'll have some more straight talk on retirement right after these messages.
Now, back to Straight Talk on Retirement on the Big 550 KTRS. Here's Jeff and Aaron Lapidus.
That's right. We're back here in the Big 550 KTRS, Talk Radio St. Louis. I'm Jeff Lapidus, the Retirement Coach.
I'm Aaron Lapidus, the Health Insurance Coach.
We are willing, we are waiting, and Aaron is wanting to take your questions and your calls at 969-KTRS. star KTRS from your cell phones or 1-888-550-KTRS. Karen.
Yes.
You just say yes, Dad.
Yes, Dad.
I like that. How many folks have you helped so far this open enrollment, even though it just opened?
40. 40 in the last week, yes. Since November 2nd.
We're having a lot of fun. And you still have time in your schedule.
You know what? I do, in fact, have availability.
That's great. I hope I can get to see you one of these days.
Not for you. Sorry, not for you.
What is it, December the
7th?
Thank you.
But you'll be gone. You'll be enjoying beautiful sunshine.
That's right. You'll chase me out of the office permanently. So, looks like we do have a couple of calls coming in. We've got Larry Mania this morning, don't we?
Could be the same Larry.
It could be another Larry.
Let's find out.
Larry, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. I have a question. I'm on TRICARE Plus.
Oh, yeah.
And I turn 65 next month. Can I just stay with Medicare Part A and B from the government and then TRICARE Plus as my supplementary insurance?
Yes, do not purchase a Medicare Advantage plan. It's going to turn your TRICARE off, and you don't want that to happen.
And don't spend any money on the other type of plan.
Exactly, because TRICARE is a full supplement to Medicare that you've earned. You don't want to transition over to something private because it doesn't work with TRICARE. It'll work with VA benefits, but you have what would be considered a full supplement to your Medicare benefits, so there's no reason for you to add anything to that.
We hope that helps you, Larry.
Oh, that does great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And, Larry, thank you so much for your service to our country. We appreciate it. Looks like we have Bob online, too. You know, everybody can't get TRICARE.
No, that's correct. And many people that have VA benefits, Medicare Advantage works very well with VA benefits. I mean, even a supplement works well with VA benefits, but TRICARE is its own. It's having another. You have your own health insurance policy.
But you're a career guy.
Exactly. So you already have a government-issued supplement, essentially, to Medicare. So Larry's just going to add his Medicare benefits to that.
We appreciate that. And, again, thanks for your service, Larry, and to all the folks who serve our country. Bob, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. I just happened to be driving around and hear this, so I started listening. My wife became disabled at the age of 47. She's now 49. We didn't take Part B because I'm still employed and she's on my group health insurance through my employer. When I heard you talking about that penalty for Part D, will she start accruing that penalty from now since we're declining to take that? And then when we retire, will that penalty be there?
That's a good question, and no. So your wife had the opportunity to take Medicare because she was on Social Security disability for 2 years. However, since you're currently working and have group health insurance, because you declined that, you still have, and she has coverage that's as good or better than what Medicare would provide. So she's able to bypass that penalty when you retire or when she's turned 65, whichever happens first. If she decides to jump off of your policy or, you both leave the group policy, she'll have a special election into Medicare because she's still eligible to take it at any point between now and 65, and then at 65 she'll have the same eligibility again. And you won't have a penalty assessed against you because what will happen is you'll take your Medicare Part B application and what's called the employer application to Social Security, and it'll show that your wife was on your coverage from the day she was eligible for Medicare until the day she left the group, and that will bypass the penalty and also give her election to make whatever choice she'd like in terms of supplemental coverage. This is inclusive of not just Part B, but also Part D, so you won't see any penalties assessed against her.
We hope that helps.
That does. Thank you. Thank you
You're
very much.
welcome, and, making these transitions on healthcare is scary.
It is scary, but the really
and
cool...
it's good to get expert advice. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
I mean, the coolest thing about actually having access to Medicare through disability is you have your initial election period after the 2 years that you've been on disability, but you get a second in an election period when you turn 65, so you could change again your supplementals.
Well, also if your spouse's health care plan goes berserk,
Exactly.
And you don't
can
like
jump
the coverage,
off
you can jump off.
want.
Right, exactly, and that's
so
that's
cool.
a special enrollment. So lots of flexibility there, but it's also good to make calls and get advice on this.
Exactly.
And also good to get advice sometimes about Social Security.
Oh, another great topic.
Exactly. And John and Judy came in and visited with us, Aaron, last week. We had a little fun with this in between your Medicare appointments. And just to share this with you, John was 62. He's considering retiring from a major corporation that makes beer in the city. And Judy,
all over the world.
And all over the world. And Judy is 60 years old. She's a nurse, and she would like to continue working for a couple of years because she loves her job. She works with little kids.
And she, doesn't want to be at home with John all day.
Well, she knows John, so what can you say?
Fair enough.
You know what they say? More husband, less money. That's what I've heard.
What kind of trade-off is that?
But not in this particular case. So what we did was when we sat down with John and Judy, we determined that based on their current expenses, they were running about $6,000 per month. When we look at this on a pre-tax basis, which is something that we do every time, we increase that by 25% so that their total cash flow needed each month was about $7,500 per month.
Okay.
But Judy said she was going to work, right?
Well, it's about $1,500 a month.
Exactly, and also John did have a pension that he was available to, and he was deciding to elect that 100% benefit to the survivor.
Because he's not going to sleep on the couch for the rest of his life?
Forever. Plus, Judy would have had to sign off on that.
That's right.
And so between those two sources, they would have about $4,000 per month coming in, which means that they would be about $3,500 a month short, assuming John didn't elect his Social Security.
Okay.
Based on a prudent withdrawal rate of 4%, they would need about $900,000, right?
Yes, but
they
happen to have $1.2 million.
Rock stars inside of John's 401k plan, which is kind of cool. So in John's case, if he had taken his Social Security, it would run about $2,200 a month, which would obviously reduce the amount they needed. But if he waited till 66, which is his actual normal retirement, he'd have almost $2,700 a month. So realistically, not even thinking about Judy's Social Security, they would almost be fully covered by his pension and Social Security benefits at 66 versus needing some cash flow before that at age 62.
And also the other important thing to consider is that because John and Judy are married,
yes,
and John's Social Security benefit is larger than what Judy is going to receive, having John wait to take his Social Security benefit means that if John predeceases Judy, then she'll be able to take his full benefit of the $2,700, and that could really make a big difference because she's going to have to let go her Social Security benefit.
In some cases that they do. So what's kind of interesting here is that a lot of this comes down to the question about their feeling about security of cash flow. We know that they're rock stars if they decide to take money now and put off Social Security, but at the same time, they'll be in a pretty good place if they take it.
Yes.
Right, so naturally, a part of the analysis that we do is we also, as you mentioned, Aaron, taking a look at what happens if John does predecease Judy. In that particular case, and assuming that John doesn't live to age 70, he does it before 70. She will keep his pension at $2,200. She'll also have his pension at $2,500, his Social Security at $2,200, but with a recurring revenue of about $4,700 a month, which is great.
That is excellent.
She's also still going to have
the $1.2 million of assets.
Reasonably, assuming that we're not assuming any growth in the assets, any future contributions, which is kind of cool. But if John dies after 70, he has to take RMDs, right?
That's right, of about $4,000 a month,
based on $1.2 million. So in this case, what that means, not to make anybody dizzy here, is that if you're keeping track of these numbers, that if John predeceases Judy, or if he dies after 70, she'll be receiving, with his Social Security and his pension and their RMDs, more than they're getting today.
So she's going to be in a great spot.
That's right. So, and that is assuming Social Security is taken at age 62 and not at 66.
So she'd have even more.
That's right. That's right.
Because
she has all that asset base. The decision about taking Social Security, and we hear you always should put it off. You always should put it off. Well, it really is situational, isn't it?
Absolutely, because there's a lot of different factors. One could be if you have a direct need for that Social Security benefit, you're going into debt because you're not taking it. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to hold off.
If you need the money to make your model work, but like in John and Judy's case, They may take it because, from a safety point of view, feeling good point of view, it does work. Is that a bad decision?
No.
No, it's their decision. Most of the decisions that we're making are gray. It isn't like not enrolling in Medicare when you're supposed to, where you get penalized for life. But we're really talking about shades of gray. One thing that they might consider doing, they get a feeling how they're doing, and also based on what the markets are doing, because obviously if their wealth grows, they might be happier.
They could take it and put it aside for a year.
That's right.
And then pay it back.
One-time do-over, right?
One-time do-over.
It's cool. And, the cool part about do-overs is there aren't too many of them. One is obviously open enrollment.
For Medicare.
Looking at your plans, especially if you have, as we know, some of the major plans have had some significant changes in their benefits.
That's right.
Coventry lowered their out-of-pockets as well as their co-pays, which is very cool. So
amazing. If
you're not in Coventry, hello.
That's right.
You got to take a look. Take a look, because your doctors and your hospitals assume that they're covered. All parts of coaching sessions. They're fun, they're free, they're easy to do. We have them in our offices in Clayton. Easy to come and visit with us if you like. Just give us a call, 314-863-0008. Or you can always send us an email.
Aaron@jblfinancial.com.
Or Jeff@jblfinancial.com. Aaron, we do have about 30 seconds left.
Okay.
Question is, Aaron, if all of my physicians are in both a Medicare Advantage HMO and a Medicare Advantage PPO, which plan should I choose?
You should go with the HMO because there's no premium on the plan itself. Out-of-pockets are lower. Maximum out-of-pocket is lower. Co-pays are lower. And if all your physicians are in the network, the only difference between the HMO and the PPO is needing referrals.
See you all next week.
The opinions voiced in this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Private Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. Private Advisor Group and JBL Financial Services, Inc. are separate entities from LPL Financial.
This is Jeff Lapidus, the Retirement Coach. We'll be back next week at 10 a.m. here on the Big 550 KTRS.